everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Couch Warrior podcast. I'm your host, Mike, as usual, and today we're going to be breaking down Dana White Contender Series Week 5. So, unfortunately, we don't have any lines to work with just yet. Normally, by this time, I've already got most of my bets set. They're usually releasing Dana White Contender Series lines on Wednesdays. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know why they haven't yet. A bit pissed about it because I'm just sitting around all day waiting for them. But we'll see. With my luck, they'll probably drop during the show. So that's just how it is. But that'll be pretty good because then I can bet with you guys right live. So yeah, we'll get right into it. Last week was a terrible Contender Series for me. I've been green for all of them. And then last week, reverse sweep. Horrible. I bet Hassanzada. That went bad. I bet Lite. She ended up losing. I bet Valenzuela. That went terribly. And Cartwright fumbled the bag too. So it was an awful night for me. And then I had Ribovich by sub. You guys know how that went as well. So hopefully this week we can do a bit better. The matchups are a little funky, but hopefully we can work through them. And it's pretty cool because I should have an interview coming on Sunday. I'll be posting it up on my channel with one of the fellas fighting tonight. I'll mention it when we get to his fight, but we can get right into it for now. So for this first fight, we've got Denise Gomes versus Rayanne Amanda. Gomes is 5-1-0. She's 22 years old, 5'4" with a 64-inch reach, and I've got her training out of PRVT. And then on the other side, you've got Rayanne Amanda. She's 11-5-0, 27 years old, so she's 5 years younger. Gomes is 22. Amanda is 5'3", so she's 1 inch taller, but she's got a 67-inch reach. So she's got a 3-inch reach advantage, and she is training at a Marajo Brothers team. Me, Paul, thank you for coming in, man, saying I knew I was done when I said, yeah, look, I'm not joining in on the Gianni the Greek hate. We all have bad weeks. I had a reverse sweep this past week, so I can't be hating on the guy, but it sure is crazy to watch that stuff go down. But anyways, back to this matchup. So these two are honestly pretty evenly matched. I feel like there's no distinct advantage for either of them. You look at Amanda's record, right? And you'll be like, oh, she's got 6 submission wins, but they're all by arm bar, right? So what does that suggest? That suggests that either she's doing what she did in her 2021 fight that we have access to, where she was on top, went for an arm bar, lost position, and then got rear naked choked, or she's doing it from bottom, which suggests to me that she's getting taken down a lot. MMA Propaholic in the chat. What's good, man? Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. But yeah, I don't know if that arm bar is going to be live here. And that's probably her only path for a sub. At least that's what it has been in her career. And then in terms of striking, there's not that much information on Amanda. The most recent tape is from 2021. Before that, it's 2019. And she's had 4 fights since that. She's won all of them. So we got a fighter from Dana White Contender Series Week 5 watching live. Don't know who it is, but thank you for tuning in, man. Definitely appreciate that one. And now I got to be careful not to talk any shit. But I'll be careful. So I do give Gomes a grappling edge. I had to look back a little bit for it. I had to find it, but she does have decent takedowns. I didn't like her last fight. She was getting controlled for 2 rounds, taken down easy. I mean, she lost 2 rounds for sure. It was open scoring, so there's no guesswork there. And then she ended up tiring out the woman and finishing her in the 3rd. So good for her, but it did show me a gap. It's just Amanda's not really going to take advantage of that gap, I don't think. She's got okay wrestling. It's not much. It works on low-level competition. Saying that's why I didn't say who. Yeah, I know that's why. Not cool, bro. Not cool. But anyways, yeah, I think that Gomes is going to win this fight. I think she's just better everywhere. I do like her striking better. I like her grappling better. I don't love her defense as much. I would say that she's pretty hittable. She makes a lot of errors, a lot of mistakes, but I'm not sure that Amanda's going to be the one here to capitalize. Maybe she can hit an armbar if, Gomes is getting these sloppy takedowns. It doesn't have good top control. This probably isn't going to be one that I'm betting. MMA Consanganu in the chat. Thank you for coming in, man. Saying Gomes is with Carol Rosa. So that'll suggest she's working on that grappling more, right? Which is a good thing for sure. And I'm already on the Gomes side. So I do think Gomes wins the fight. Do I think I'm going to bet her? It's impossible to know right now. We don't have odds. I did odds predictions for each fight, so I guess we can work off those for now. I was thinking I predicted it minus 225 Gomes, plus 185 on Amanda. If we get that line, I'm probably staying off. If they open Gomes closer to pick him, then I'll probably hit Gomes. Otherwise, I'm probably staying off this fight. My guy Pat's in the chat. What up, Pat? Thank you for tuning in, man. If you guys have not seen his content, make sure to check out Pat. He kills it week by week, has dope guests. Don't miss out on him. But we'll move on to the next fight. All right. So this one I'm hyped to talk about because I feel like I have more information than most on this one. So for this one, we've got Josh Wang-Kim versus Cameron Saaiman. Wang-Kim is 5-1-0, 29 years old, 5'9", and I've got him training out of Alliance MMA. Saaiman on the other side is 5-0, 21 years old, super young, 5'9", training out of Team CIT. I don't have a reach for Saaiman. I did get Kim's. It's a 70.5-inch reach. And yeah, so off first glance, there's like nothing on this fight, right? You look at the Saaiman, you look up this stuff, there's nothing on YouTube, nothing. Then if you look up the actual promotion, EFC, and you go on their Facebook page, there's a fight of his from, I want to say 2019. I don't remember what year it was, but it was a 1-minute fight, which showed you nothing at all. It just showed you him destroying a can, but it gave you no information. So I was looking, and I found on their website, they have a membership, just like Fight Pass, $10 freaking a month to watch their cards. And I was like, screw it, I'll get it, and then I'll just cancel it after this month. So I did, and I watched Saaiman's last fight. I believe it was a title fight. It was a 5-rounder, and I'm very glad that I watched it, right? Because if I didn't, I wouldn't know that his takedown defense is not very good. I wouldn't know that his get-ups aren't very good. I wouldn't know that he has the output advantage here by quite a bit. So all that said, I do lean Kim here just slightly. I don't like a lot of what Kim does. I'm not a huge fan of the karate styles. I'm not a huge fan of the low output, hands down, a little bit of cockiness. Don't always love that. I feel like if anyone's going to have the striking output here, it's going to be Saaiman. In terms of technique, it's really hard for me to tell. I'm working off of like one Saaiman fight, and Kim, he doesn't throw much. I feel like technically he's probably better, but I'm going to give the striking edge to Saaiman because they're the same height. I don't know what's with the reaches, but I'm assuming it's not going to be that much of a gap. And his output is just better. But then his ground game is where it's very concerning. Kim has shown much better work, I'd say, offensively, at least on the ground. His takedown defense is also better. So if anyone's going to be controlling where the fight goes, I feel like it's going to be Kim and not Saaiman. So because of that, I kind of have to go with Kim. I'm not sure what the line's going to look like here. My guess is just that. It's an educated guess. I was thinking maybe Kim's like minus 175, plus 145 on Saaiman. But it's going to be interesting because I don't know how much the bookies are going to have watched. I really don't know. So we'll have to see. But like a few things to know, like both of them have faced terrible competition. I would probably give the edge to Kim there. Like I mentioned, neither of them are very good in the grappling parts, but I give the advantage there to Kim. And then I guess it's worth mentioning that Saaiman does train with Dricus du Plessis over there in South Africa. But first of all, I don't know if Dricus is even still there. And second of all, Dricus is middleweight, and this is at, I believe, bantamweight or flyweight. So yeah, this is at bantamweight. So yeah, I'm not sure how much that's going to help. Bullies of today, the fighter in the chat saying, do I check social media for tapes? So what I do is if I know the promotions on Fight Pass, like LFA, CFFC, CEC, then I'm just going to go on Fight Pass, look it up. If it's not, I'm going to go to YouTube. If it's not there, then I start looking on the Tapology page of like the promotion. I'll go to Facebook if I need to. Sometimes it's on random sites. And then the last case is just having to look up the site and buying it like I did for this one. But yeah, something I do use that's a really useful tool. It's called the MMA Tape Index. Just Google it. It'll come up. It's run by a guy in the community. Blanking. MMA Lock of the Night. We all know him. But he kills it. It's like $3 a month. And it's just the upcoming cards and the fighters, all their fights, like leading up to it. If there's been a recent interview, it'll be there. And he also puts up their Instagrams and stuff. So it's super useful for this stuff. Didn't help much for this fight, but it makes sense. But anyways, back to this. I think it's going to be super close. But I do lean Kim. He's got a bit more experience. Their records are the same pro pretty much, but if you look at their amateurs, Saaiman 5 amateur fights, Kim 16 of them. He went 15-1-0. That one loss was to a guy who's in the UFC now. I'm blanking. Jesse Strader. That's who it was. That was the one loss he got. It was a split. I didn't get to watch it, so I don't know. But that's the one loss he has. And yeah, I just think that Kim's going to be a bit better everywhere. I'm concerned about his output, so I'm not sure how I'm going to play this. It's really going to depend on what the odds open at. MMA Propaholic saying he hopes we get an over 1.5. That would be crazy, honestly. But it wouldn't really make much sense, right? Neither of these guys are like potent finishers, and like it's bantamweight. So I'm not sure why they would set it at 1.5. If they do, we should probably hit that, but we'll see what happens. I do lean Kim here. I think it's going to be a really good and close fight, but I just feel like the grappling issues that Saaiman has are going to be pretty prevalent if Kim decides to like exploit them. And he seems like a very intelligent fighter coming out of intelligent camp. So I do think he should be able to pull off the victory here. And then we'll move along to a fight that I probably feel most comfortable betting. So excuse me. For this one, we've got Errison Ferreira versus Jesus Santos Aguilar. I don't know if it's Jesus or Jesus. I apologize, but we're going to go with Aguilar and Ferreira. Ferreira is 11-1-0, 31 years old. He's 5'6". He's got a 70-inch reach, and I do have him training out of Eduardo Machado team. And then on the other side, we've got Aguilar 7-1-0, 26 years old. He's 5'3", and I've got him training out of AVT. So real quick, I want to address the height of Aguilar, the size of Aguilar. 5'3". I already hate that. Like, if you guys have watched me before, I do believe in size bullying. I think it matters. I really do think size does matter. And 5'3" just historically hasn't worked out in the UFC, at least. Like Santos Curatoa, for example, really dope guy, just too small. Meatball saying he pretty sure saw some people hyping up Ferreira, not 100% though. Yeah, I mean, it would make sense because Ferreira was on the Contender series. He won. He beat this guy who, blanking on his name. I do have it here, though. Regardless, he beat one of the guys from China who's very good with the grappling. And I know a lot of people felt it was a robbery. Ferreira was like a minus 600 favorite, 700 favorite going in. So Dana was like, nah, I'm not going to sign you. And then the other guy actually competed in UFC Road to Singapore. And he won his fight there very convincingly. So definitely a tough dude. Not the worst look to get a robbery win over him. But honestly, I love this matchup for Ferreira. If you look at the Tapology page, it's like definitely leaning towards Aguilar. And I guess it's because people just don't like Ferreira after what happened with that robbery. And you look at Aguilar, his record's shiny. It's just like, and you know what else I think it is? Aguilar has a win over Charez, and if that name's familiar to you, it's because he just fought Clayton Carpenter, I think two episodes ago, and he looked great, right? He really challenged that Carpenter and almost made him lose the fight when Carpenter came in as a super hot prospect. So for me personally, like, I think that's something that's inflating the line, but I just don't see much in Aguilar that I love that much. Like, it's like he's got 5 submission wins. All 3 are by guillotine. And in his most recent fights, that's constantly what he's looking for. And I also found his reach in one of the graphics. It was 64 inches. That would mean he's got a 6-inch reach disadvantage here, along with a 3-inch height disadvantage. And his striking's like not really that good. It's not like he's really good at closing the distance, getting in the pocket. He just has a nice hook, and that's really it. He gets very sloppy, leaves himself open for counters. His wrestling is good. I like the entries. His own takedown defense isn't great, but I think that's because he's willing to go for the guillotine, give up position, and then, work from there, scramble from bottom. I just don't think it's going to really work much against Ferreira. Ferreira doesn't have any submission losses. The guy showed good takedown defense, 71% against his last Dana White Contender Series opponent, whose wrestling was very legit, and he held up well, didn't give up a lot of control. I think he gave up like 3 minutes or something. And I just think that Ferreira's better here. I feel like he's just a better fighter. He's definitely the better striker. His output's low, that's for sure, and I hate that, but his combinations are there. Good power, good kicks. He's got 10 KO wins, mixes up combos well. He's got a good 1-2, hitting all the targets, going for the body. I don't know. I just really like Ferreira here. I think that we're going to get a solid line too. That's partially why I really like this. I feel like Tapology it helps a little bit to look at it to see where the lines might open because hype is a big factor in these things. We've seen that time and time again, and there's definitely hype behind Aguilar and the opposite behind Ferreira. So I just think that Aguilar's striking is very deficient, and I do like Ferreira to win this fight. Let's see what the chat is saying in here. Meatball. I think it's funny how Dana said he doesn't look into any fighters' fights. Always mentions literally always mentions the odds, and like it makes him extra impressed if you're a dog, right? Like Ronnie Lawrence was like plus 300, and Dana made sure to mention that. He's like, he's gonna be special. I don't know. I never really agreed with that assessment that much. I think Ronnie Lawrence is an animal, but like special, I don't know. But regardless, the pick here is Ferreira, and we're gonna move on. I have a guess who the fighter in the chat is, but educated guess. Anyways, we for this fight, we've got Amiran Gogoladze versus Darrius Flowers. Gogoladze is 14-2-0, 24 years old, 6'2". Let me see if I got something else for his gym. Yeah, for his gym, I've got Guram Fight Club. And then for Flowers, he's 11-5-1, 27 years old, 5'9", 72-inch reach. And I've got him training out of Chicago Fight Team. And just want to note that Flowers is coming down from middleweight, as far as I could tell. So Gogoladze is going to be 5 inches taller, 3 years younger. I don't know what's with the reach, but so, you first look at this fight and you see a Georgian, and then you see someone coming down from a weight class that's not the right weight, and you're thinking, all right, this is a setup, right? But at the same time, if this is a setup, whoever set it up is tweaking, because Flowers can grapple really well. His takedowns are there, and it's something he does really well, and he's shown it time and time again. His last 2 fights, he was the underdog, and he won both of them pretty quickly too. And that's the one thing I noticed with Amiran, like I think his striking is there, the hands are there, the kicks are there. He's a bit low output and he can get a bit sloppy, but he keeps it mostly straight, good in the pocket, but like nothing crazy to write home about. 6 KO wins on his side, but Flowers has only been KO'd once. And I can't get over the takedown defense. It's really weak. You look at the one fight that he lost recently, it was in UAE Warriors 20. He was fighting Henderson Ferreira, I believe, Henderson Ferreira. And yeah, like it showed very clearly that if you can take him down, he doesn't really have a way to get back up. I'm sure he's improving, super young, 24 years old. He's constantly getting better, but Darrius isn't that old either. So I assume he's also improving. His striking, not my favorite technical striking, but like the power is huge. He's very good at doing what he does well, which is working against the cage. So he's backing guys up, rocking them with these hooks. He loves the uppercut, and then he goes for the double, and it works. And I feel like it might work here. I do have a feeling they're going to open up Amiran at like minus 300 or something. And I'm probably going to play Flowers. I don't know if it's going to be just money line or maybe I'll sprinkle a KO in there. I just think he's going to have too many openings to be comfortable taking a heavy favorite over him. He's by far the more experienced guy. The numbers in terms of their opponents' records. So I'm not a ratio person, but I'm pretty sure Amiran has the better one. 103 wins for his opponents, 38 losses when they faced him. For Darrius, it's 138 wins and 110 losses. But yeah, I just think that Darrius has faced the better guys, and I think that he's going to be able to do what he needs to do to win the fight. Unless Amiran comes in here with some new and improved wrestling, I don't think it's going to be just as soon. So yeah, and I think you guys could guess who's in the chat now. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I do my best. But we'll move on to the main event. And this one, I'm super hyped for the odds to come out. I'm kind of pissed, right? Because I thought because of the Tapology picture, people might look at him and be like, this guy's going to lose, right? But then I started watching Parkin, and I was like, I fucking like this guy, man. And I really hope we get him at dog odds, because Neves has like this cool Tapology picture, and Parkin just looked like he took the picture like for his passport. He changed it now. It's a better one, but I feel like that would have helped us with the line. So for this fight, we've got Neves versus Parkin. Eduardo Neves is 5-0. He's undefeated, 22 years old, 6'1", and I do believe he's still training out of Eduardo Machado Fight Team. And on the other side, we've got Parkin. He's 5-0, 6'3", and I've got him training out of TFT MMA. So it's Team Fish Tank. At first I thought it was like some joke camp, and it's totally not. There's actually some decent guys there. Meatball, appreciate you, man. And then I've never been on the Die Hard MMA podcast though. I wish though. Hopefully one day. And then my guy over here, I fight everyone different with striking depending on how they strike, by the way. It's good to know, man. Good to know. Because I definitely think you've got the power advantage here. I feel like there's very little question there. But back to these big boys, the heavyweights. Yeah, I like Parkins here. I'll just get right to the point. I think Parkins is a better fighter. Parkin. Sorry, I keep thinking Perkins. Parkins. Parkin. I think he's the better fighter. He's the bigger man. He's 2 inches taller. He is the older guy. Neves is 22, but like it's because he's 22. So the height gets a little confusing as well because Tapology for Neves says he's 6'1", whereas LFA is saying he's 6'3". Based off of his opponent's heights, I do not think he's 6'3". I think he's 6'1", and his striking is, it's pretty good for a heavyweight, but it's also a little basic. I don't know. I just feel like Parkin actually showed the better combinations, the better striking. He was crisper. I even think he was faster, and he picks his shots really well. He's got a nice amateur record, 7-0-1, whereas Neves did not fight as an amateur. So Parkin definitely has the experience advantage. And, neither of these guys really has a grappling edge. The takedown defense on Parkin is awful. His takedown entries are sloppy as well, and he's gotten caught in guillotine attempts because of them. But once he is on top, he's got super strong top control. And I don't know. I don't know if he's going to get Neves down. Neves has decent takedown defense, and his own takedowns look pretty good, but his top control shit. So if Neves does get Parkin down, I see Parkin getting back up. And if they're standing, either guy can land a big shot, but I'm going to favor Parkin over 15 minutes, to find a shot or to win the decision. So I'm praying we get some fat odds on Neves and I can hammer the dog, but we're going to have to see. I'll catch up with the chat real quick. Meatball. I can just worry about that fuzzy. Maybe wrong. Yeah, I think Propaholic caught the issue. Yeah, I had Wheezy on my show, but I am having Clint on my show for a UFC 279 in, I think, like 3 weeks or something. I'm going to be putting up a schedule in a bit, so I'll update everybody. But yeah, that's it for the card. I'll run through the picks one more time real quick. We don't have any lines yet. Let me double check that. Yeah, still no lines. Getting pissed off. But the picks are Denise Gomes, Kim, Ferreira, Flowers, and Parkin. And yeah, that's it. Good luck, everybody, tomorrow with UFC. Good luck if you got any LFA bets. The one bet I have for LFA tonight is Logan Urban. Go easy. Not too much info on him. I played him for a unit at plus 153. And that's it for me for tonight. And yeah, have a good one, guys. Good luck and peace.